Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 22 as Hull. And where we left off, we had just started off January with, let's remember, we played Wigan, I know that, and we lost against Nottingham Forest. So not a great start to the year, losing 4-1 against Nottingham Forest. But in that game, we had a lot of people who were struggling with fitness and stuff. So basically, we only had 2 days in between our last game anyway, so it was kind of, we were just doomed to lose that one. But we did get a good result against Wigan, 3-1. Very good result for us. Not many people attended, but we've moved on to the fourth round, which means we are playing West Ham, who are actually in the same league as us. They're 7th in the league at the moment, so honestly could go either way. Since then, we got a 0-0 draw against Luton. And I think it was about at that point where I was like, I think I need to switch up our what they called tactics a little bit. 4-4-2 is a little bit dull. Was it here? Yeah. And me, not only knowing certain tactics that work, I went back for this tactic which we used at Kings Lynn, the 4-2-3-1. Especially seeing as we don't have a lot of options up front, I thought if we have one striker, we can at least rotate the couple that we have, and we've got some good attacking midfielders and stuff like that. So since we've used this tactic, it's been fairly successful. A 3-0 against Barnsley and a 2-1 against West Brom. So yeah, overall not too shabby. And in that time as well, we've had quite a busy transfer window, so we're going to have a quick look and see what's occurred here. So a lot of these transfers happened before I joined, so let's just find which ones they were. So, oh my goodness, actually quite a lot of my transfers. I thought it was a lot more than that. So basically, these are the ones that happened at the beginning of the season. They actually made some good transfers. Finn Stevens and Colwell are both really good transfers in. The other guys are all youth, but actually Couchman looks like he might be fairly decent in the future. He's a potential star player, so he might be one to keep an eye on. But I think we saw this transfer, the Xavier Simons. He is a central midfielder, 25-year-old, got plenty of time on him. And we have a older central midfielder who plays a very similar role in Doherty. So he's just kind of a replacement. He's already playing pretty well. He's played 8 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. I don't think that's all for us, actually. Yeah, no, he's played 3 games, 1 assist, 7.37 rating. I think he's a fairly good signing for us. I think he's going to keep on giving as we go through the season. He is the most expensive player we brought in, 2.5 mil, and the club aren't too happy with how much we paid for him, but I wanted someone solid in that midfield kind of holding role, kind of how Young was with the Kings Lynn. I wanted something similar to that, and I think Simons is that. We brought in a keeper, Emil Kickenborg. He is a young Danish keeper. I kind of have brought him in just as a test to see if he's any good, and if he is, we'll sign him at the end of the season on a full term, because he's got massive potential. But I also signed him because both of our goalkeepers, Cooper and Bishop, got offers in and kicked off saying we need to go if we want to progress. And they both sold for really little money, 54 grand and 60 grand for both of them. Both of my backup keepers gone. They were both quite old anyway, not for goalkeepers, but I was like, I can't really see them being much help going forward. As long as we don't have an injury this season, next season, the keepers that I've brought in should be good enough to play backup. So with those guys, we had to let them go. Then I brought in a bunch of young'uns which have got quite high potential, or did from my scouting. So I brought in a Norwegian central mid who his potential was a lot higher when I scouted him, but I obviously needed to scout him a lot more. But he will be a player that will just sit in the under 23s. He's quite young. He's only 18, isn't he? Yeah. So give him a couple of years. He will at least be a gold star standard, and then we'll loan him out a few times and see if we can get him up to his potential. We brought in Michael Knight, who is again a central midfield, left midfield sort of player. Similar potential to the Norwegian guy we brought in, Leo. So then again, just youth, because if we don't start building up our youth, because I had a look, we don't have much in the way of like quality youth already in. We've got a few, but like Couchman, but not loads. So I thought if we start bringing some in now, at least we've got preparation for the future. I brought in this how do you say it? Kosovanian? Well, he's from Kosovan, sorry. And his potential is quite high for a striker. He looks like he will be just one of those ones which will sit in our under 23s until he gets to like 2021, and then he'll either be a goal scorer or not. So it'll be interesting to see how he pans out. He's just more of a long-term purchase. All of these are at the moment. And then we've got Jim Sharp, who is also quite high potential left back and centre back. I was thinking we need to have some good defenders in here with high potential for the future to try to build on that. And then we go into the more now transfers. Actually, to be fair, some of these aren't because they're still on the under 23s, but we paid money for them. So we got this central defender, can play right back and defensive mid. He is currently only 1.5, but potential to be 4.5 stars. So he is looking like he's going to be a good one again in the future. 1.5 stars if I need to. Problem is as well, our centre backs are a bit light at the moment. We don't have a lot of cover. So if I need to, I can bring him forward and he'll get some game time. He's already wanted, actually. I just realised, on loan by 3 people. So he's obviously a fairly decent player for us to bring in. We paid 275 grand for him, which wasn't terrible. I think that was okay money to pay for a potential first team player in the next couple of years. Then we brought in Boyd Mwamba. So Boyd Mwamba, he can pretty much play all over the field. Look, he can play attacking mid, right, attacking mid, left mid, and central midfield. He was how much did I pay for him in the end? I paid 650 grand for him. Bargain. 23-year-old Zambian player. Has potential to be a 4-star. None silvered out, so that potential is probably going to be reached. Which will be bringing him in line with our 2 best players, Lewis Potter and Ramsey. He looks like he might be a decent sort of player to hold on to, and then if he isn't a success, we can sell him on for a profit easily, which is one of our club vision things that we have to do. So, and he's pacey, so playing on the wings is perfect for him. He hasn't played fantastic so far for us. We've played him for 2 games. He's got a 6.80 and not really done a lot. But it does take time for players like this to kind of settle in. So we're not going to rush him. We're going to hope that he's going to come good. Maybe not even this season, but next season potentially. Then we brought in a 19-year-old Portuguese keeper. Look at his stats. I think they're pretty good. Overall as well, potential to be a 4-star or 3-star. We just need to be thinking of replacements for Dylan Phillips because he is 33. I don't know when he's going to retire. He's been amazing this season, but he's also wanted at the moment by Everton and Bournemouth, both Premier League clubs, I think. Yeah. So we are in trouble if they come in for an offer because I can't say no to a Premier League club. They will definitely offer and he'll say, I want to go. I actually didn't realise we also have a 20-year-old keeper who's got quite high potential that we had at the club already. So we've got the youth there. We've got 3 keepers which we're going to develop, and hopefully we can hold on to Phillips for the rest of the season, and then maybe next season we'll just have to think about a replacement keeper if none of them are up to scratch. But I paid around about 200 grand. I've got some potential add-ons for him as well for 200 grand. So he is just definitely one for the future. I then brought in Gustavo Diaz, a central defender and right back who has, again, bags of potential. Looks fairly decent already, and will probably be pushed up to the main team maybe this season, if not next season. So if we need any cover for our central defence or right back, we've got him just in case. And we paid a little bit more than I wanted to, and again the board weren't too happy with this, but 1.2 million for a potential star in the future I think isn't too shabby, is it? We then brought in Emmanuel White, who's again a right back playing for under 23s, got quite high potential, not as high as the last guy, but he was free and on a really low contract. He's on 425 per week, which is pretty low for this club, so I think he will be one that we either loan out and he'll be fine, or we just let him develop and then eventually he'll become good. So hopefully, or we just sell him for a little bit of a profit because we got him for free. He's already worth 60 to 600 grand. Then I brought in one which was a bit of a wild card. I didn't know how good he was going to be. I was hoping he would be a star higher than he is at the moment, but 19-year-old Italian striker and anywhere in the attacking midfield positions. Again, ridiculous potential, looks pretty decent. The only problem is can tend to be fickle. Ooh, not sure what that will mean, but hopefully he'll be a decent player for us. I've already put him into although he's young, into our first squad, and I'm using him as like a sub on because we are struggling with the strikers' fitness and stuff like that. So he's one. Jack Scott, brought in as a right back, 3-star right back, already fairly decent, 26-year-old Northern Ireland lad. Hasn't got any potential to get any better than what he is, but I needed just cover. Again, we're running out of people who can play in those positions. 72 grand is pretty decent price for him, and he's already actually an international. And we can't really sell him on for any profit, but he's just going to be there to do a role. He's played... he's played in the Dansk Bank. Isn't that Denmark? No? That's not Denmark, is it? Northern Ireland. Okay. I thought it was Denmark. I mean, Dansk. It's probably just a name of a bank, but he's played some games in the Premier for Northern Ireland, League One. So he's got game experience, and it's just someone who we need as cover, and he's not going to kick off too much if he doesn't have too much playing time. And then the last one I brought in, 52 grand for Joe Hugel. I'm going to call him Huggle. 25-year-old English striker. Love to see a homegrown, because I know there's like rules for homegrown the higher up you get. Current 3-star, potential 3.5-star. Looks like he might be a fairly decent player just to bring on as cover again. He's not worth loads at the moment, but I think he's going to be a perfect sort of player that we can bring on if we need some quick goals. He used to play for United. He actually has played in the Championship. Got 2 goals last season, 2 before. He's definitely been the sort of player that they bring on as an impact sub from the looks of it, but that's probably what we'll be doing anyway. So he's used to that role. So, wow, there was a lot of people I brought in. Spent around... It says 9 million, but that's including these transfers, so take that away. It's about 7 mil, probably. But we don't have a bunch of money left. Let me just go on to scouting. We've got 600 grand in the transfer budget, and we've got 7 grand in our wages left. In terms of players we got rid of, or left, should I say, because some of them were saying we want to be off. Staunton already got an offer in mid-season, and he's off to Shamrock Rovers, playing Ireland. We got about 100 grand for him, I think. How much did we get? 110 grand. I mean, it was an okay deal. He wasn't great for us, but again, we didn't have that defensive cover, so that's why I brought in some of these defenders. Both keepers I've already gone through. They've gone for a little bit of money, and then we've loaned out Mark Ferguson, who's a young central defender, which is strange because I just realised I've been trying to bring in central defenders, and the other person I loaned out, Matty Pollock, is a young, well, not young even, is a central defender who we've been using, but he was kicking off. He was very unhappy that he wasn't getting playing time even though we were giving him playing time. It was a problem with the last manager, but it didn't go away because I started. So I've let him out on loan, and we'll just see what he has to say when he comes back. He might want to just move on at the end of the season. And then Malik Wilkes, I eventually was like, I'm sick of him. He kept saying, like, I want to go, and all we got were loan offers for no money. So, like, basically we pay all his wages. And then in the end, I was like, if he goes, our dynamics improve because we don't have any unhappy people in the squad then. So I've just loaned him out to Bristol Rovers. We pay the whole shebang. He's got 3 appearances already, 1 goal. Is that for us or for them? No, he hasn't played for Bristol Rovers yet. So for us, he's played this season 18 appearances, 3 goals. I don't know what that down there means. Is it just league appearances? No, because he's got 3 goals in the league. Not sure what that meant. But anyway, he's off. I'm kind of sick of him. I want to sell him when we get to the end of the season. And we're finally caught up with all the transfers and stuff. That took a long time, didn't it? So the squad is looking a bit more comfortable with backup. I'm noticing, which I didn't realise before, Simons is... I keep wanting to call him Simmons. I probably will accidentally call him Simmons at some point. He's looking like he's cup-tied, so we can't play him, which is annoying because he's a good player for us. But yeah, this is kind of the go-to squad that I've got at the moment. Damn it. They don't mix well. What about Bobby Carroll? I think he plays in a similar role. If we bring on Bobby Carroll instead, there you go. That'll work better. So yeah, we've been playing Afolabi up front. He's not been smashing them in as much. He's just broken his goal drought. So I'm hoping that means he's going to continue. Got Bonucci on the bench if we need to bring someone on fresh legs up front. And then these attacking mids kind of can switch around a little bit. Aaron Ramsey's superb in that position here. The attacking playmaker sort of role. Lewis Potter plays really well on the left. He can play on the right as well. And Boyd Mwamba can play in the middle or on the right. Still trying to figure him out. We'll find the best position for him though. And then Ruben Colwell gives us a little bit more attack from that position. And then usually it's Simons who sits there as the ball-winning midfielder, but hopefully Carroll will be able to do a job as well. He's being played less and less. He was injured, but he's not really getting much of a shout anymore. Then we've got Sean Ruffin being rotated with Lee Buchanan. 1 minute. Buchanan, yeah. Like, names now don't mean anything. Like, I can't pronounce anything correctly at the moment. I just realised our best central defender is not on. So just quickly switch that round because this is an important game. So we play Terrace and Feeney in the central defence roles, and then Stevens on the right. And we've got backup with CJ Egan Riley and Jaden Fevrier. He's actually really good cover on the bench because he can play either right back or left back, but also either attacking left or attacking right. So he's a really good utility sort of player to have. But yeah, Kraev has kind of dropped off. I think I probably would want to bring him on actually for this one. I'll bring him on for Vaughan because he can play anywhere on this attacking and up front, and he has been scoring goals. He's got 7 so far. He's not our top scorer, but he's been getting some goals, so I'll put him on the bench for this game. So we're now moving on to the West Ham game. So we'll see you in a second for the West Ham game. Okay, just before the game with West Ham, there was one more transfer which I'm doing, but not until his contract is up. So we've got this 20-year-old central and attacking midfield player, Italian player. He looks fairly decent, and he's accepted our contract offer. So he's going to be joining us at the end of his contract on the 1st of July. One of the reasons I brought him in is he's Italian, and we don't have any other Italians at the team, and I want to make the Bonucci feel comfortable settling in. So I thought if I bring in another one who actually won't cost me anything, and looks fairly decent, then we might be able to like help them kind of settle in a little bit more. So that was kind of my reasoning behind that. Also, Couchman, who I said has got bags of potential, looks really good, only 17 years old. We're loaning out to Harrogate to make sure that he can get some game time and kind of develop as a player. So hope we'll be keeping an eye on how well he does as well. So we'll see you in a second when we get to the West Ham game. Okay, so we're at the West Ham game. I haven't changed any of the tactics as before. One thing I just did notice, got him as a sweeper keeper. We don't want him as a sweeper keeper. That could have been bad because he plays a lot better as just a normal keeper. So we're going with the same formation I just ran through before, and we're going to jump into this West Ham game against in the FA Cup. So it's going to be an important game for us to win, because when we get through to the next round, we can play potentially Premier League teams, and it brings in a lot of money, and it's a good competition to progress in. So hopefully, I think this is the furthest we've ever got with Kings Lynn. Hopefully we're going to be able to push forward and get further in this round. Let's say we're doing well, going on a good run, and say we've got faith in the lads. That usually gives a little bit more motivation to them. And here we go. Let's play West Ham at home. So hopefully we'll be able to get in a good result. Okay, first chance, and West Ham are passing it around quite comfortably in their own half though. But they are pushing forward. Ball over to Catrone, and Catrone, well, saved by Phillips. Absolutely amazing save there. And unfortunately, damn, lower leg injury to Josh Feeney. He's one of our better players. Who is our next best centre-back? It's probably Ruffin, and then we play on Buchanan on the left. That's probably the best thing we can do for our defence. That's going to be a massive hit if he is out for a long time. Damn it. Okay, so another chance. West Ham, good block by whoever that was. Still on him. They're good pressing by our defence, but we just can't seem to get the ball, even though we're stopping them getting the ball in the box. And it goes in and headed harmlessly over the bar. Oh, looks like a free kick in a fairly good position. Probably a bit too far out to score from, but Colwell will probably have a go. Ooh, and it was spilled by the keeper. Saved, but not enough to hold on to it. And now it's a corner to us. Ramsey to put it in. Heads down, but cleared by the defender. And it looks like they had a free kick anyway from a handball. Okay, throw into us. Mwamba has it. Plays it to Stevens. Stevens coming down the wing. Puts it in. Afalabi. Yes! I'm glad he's out of his goal scoring rut. He was having real trouble finding the net for a few games, but that was a superb finish to put us 1-0 ahead. Let's see this. Good play by Stevens as well to get the ball in the box. And superb header. We're 1-0 up. Okay, corner just before half time. Put in, and keeper comes out and collects it quite confidently. Then hoofs it down, but Terrace well gathered. Afalobi holding it up. Lewis Potter is dispossessed twice. He is not having the best of games, but he wins it back well there, high up on the field. Lewis Potter, point to prove, plays it through, and that was a good save. Poor shot, I would say. Should be scoring there. But corner to us. Ramsey puts it in, headed away. We're not really that good at corners. And then a poor pass to try get to Lewis Potter, and I think that's going to be half time. Overall, Lewis Potter has upped his rating just with what he did in that last couple of minutes. I think overall we're not going to need to make any changes. We've only got 2 subs because of the injury. So let's say go out there and prove it, go out there and prove it, go out there and prove it, and start that second half and see if we can maintain our lead. Okay, 75 minutes in, and we've got some tired legs out there. So I'm going to bring on Kraev for Lewis Potter, and he's going to be an inside forward attack. That's his best role. Usually goes up front, so interesting to see how he plays there. We also have Colwell who's looking tired. Who else? And Ramsey. So Bonucci. It's not Bonucci, is it? It's Bonchi. Can play here, central mid, attacking mid as advanced playmaker attack, which is what he was already on. Cool. And then Colwill. 1 minute. I just realised we've used all of our subs now because of Feeney's injury, so that's going to have to stay as is, and hopefully we won't need any more subs for the end of this game. Okay, right at the last gasp, it's 91st minute. Kraev with a good tackle, but it's just lost again by Afalobi. Long ball forward, Terrace gets it, plays it back to Phillips, plays it to Stevens. Stevens up to Mwamba, through to Colwill. Long ball forward up to Afalobi, plays it back to Mwamba, to Stevens. Long ball up to Bonucci. Bonucci, first time we've seen him do anything. Kraev just with the header over. And not bad play by everyone involved. We've got 5 seconds left of this half. I will be very annoyed if we concede now and have to go to a replay, but we don't. Superb 1-0 against West Ham at home. We did not want to go away. We would have probably lost that. Second half, there were a lot of shots going in against us, and we just held strong, held on to possession, and played the sort of football that annoys them. So, well done, lads. Through to the next round of the FA Cup. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And we'll just have to see how bad Feeney's injury is. Oh, damn it. 3 to 4 months. That's exactly what we didn't need. So, we're going to have to think about how our central defence works now. Terrace is definitely our first choice. Centre back. Who joins him? Let's have a look. Who is our next best? So Feeney, Terrace, Ruffin. I mean, Simons can play fairly well in central defence, but we want him as the midfielder, not playing in defence. Might have to be, or we play Ruffin in the middle and then Buchanan on the left. I think that's probably the easier way of doing it. And then we take Carroll off and have Simons in the middle again. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. It's just not fantastic. But we did a job. We're through to the next. It's almost like our Football Manager does that to you, though. If you win an important game, it almost takes a little something just to be like, well, it's not going to be that easy. And then the 5th round is on the end of the month. So we're going to play the Blackburn game now. And we'll skip ahead to that. And then next video we'll do 5th round and Huddersfield, I think. Cool. So see you in a second. Oh, one more thing, just quickly. I have been scouting Vince Krause, who we had to sell from Kings Lynn, unfortunately, because of a 180 grand, what's it called, release clause. I am looking at him for a big purchase next season. Start of next season, we'll be bringing in Vince Krause if we can, because I think he's got potential to be like a massively good player. I mean, as good as like Aaron Ramsey, who we have at the club already, but yeah, I think he's a really good player. So I'm looking to bring him in if we can. So yeah, back to we're gonna jump ahead to the Blackburn game now. Okay, just before the game against Blackburn, we saw the FA Cup draw, and safe to say it's a big one. We aren't playing at Anfield, but we are playing Liverpool. I think that's going to be a struggle. Where are they in the league at the moment? Oh, they're winning the Premier League at the moment. So by a lot? No, by 6 points. So they're just ahead. But yeah, okay, that's going to be a struggle. Have they got any top scorers at the moment in Kylian? Okay, great. They've got Kylian Mbappe. Fantastic. The only thing we can really hope for, oh my goodness, look at that front three. Alexander Isak, Kylian Mbappe, and Mohamed Salah. Mo Salah's 36. How's he doing this season? He's still got 6 goals and 3 assists. Flipping heck. Okay, so that's a good team. Like, we're going to struggle against these guys. I'm expecting probably not going to get a result against them, but it'll be an experience, won't it? It'll be the biggest game as a manager that I've played, so it'll be fun. So yeah, on to the next game against Blackburn. Okay, so we're at the Blackburn game, who are actually second in the league, so it's quite a big game for us. We're going with Phillips in goal, Buchanan, Terrace, Ruffin and Stevens in defence, Simons and Colwill in midfield, and then Lewis Potter, Ramsey and Mwamba in attacking mid with Afolabi up front. I am looking at Colwill thinking he will need to be subbed off at some point. We don't actually have an attacking midfield player. I think maybe Ramsey, which we could drop down. We could drop Ramsey down and then switch in Bonucci or or Krayev. Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, Hugel or Huggle hasn't had a chance to play yet. We should probably look at bringing him on at some point. Is this the game for that? I'm not sure. We could put him on the bench, I suppose, and then put... I mean, we could take Krayev off, but that means that we don't have any options apart from Bonucci. Oh, we got Vaughan as well. Let's take Vaughan off. There you go. That works. That works for me. We've got a central defender. We've got right and left for both of them. We've got central midfield for them two, attacking midfield for these two, and striker for these three. Perfect. That is the game. That is the plan. And I think we're just going to have to hope that we don't have too much fatigue following the West Ham game. So let's jump into it now. Okay, so let's say we've been on a good run. I feel like the good run, like team talk, doesn't really help the players kind of get in the right mindset, but it's what they I usually go with what the assistant suggests unless it's awful, so let's see what they can do. Okay, so we're playing in a black kit today, which is a bit different. I think that might be their third kit, or it might be just the away. Long ball forward, but Phillips comes forward well and collects it. Look to roll it out to someone, or is he going to kick it? Roll it out, there you go, that's what I've been telling him to do. Stevens now has the ball. Back to Ruffin, to Phillips, oh my goodness, no. This is the problem when you play the ball out from the back. Sometimes it can really backfire on you. And you give the ball away from, who was that? Let's see where this went wrong. Back to Phillips. Terrace. Terrace is where it went wrong. What was that pass? And then no one got it. Headed down. Terrace lost his man Barry, and that was where it all fell apart for us. Okay. Lewis Potter has it. Ramsey now running forward with it. Ramsey's looking to get it in the box, but just gives it away, and we are now on the back foot again. What is going on, lads? Barry has another chance, and it's a penalty. Really clear penalty. We are falling apart. I'm going to shout focus. And a great finish by Grimes to get them. Matt Grimes gets them 2-0 up. And we are fading without a trace. Right. Two things. Half time, we're still 2-0 down. Not a lot happened in that second half. In the first half, after those two goals were fairly early on. First thing is Lewis Potter has had another fairly poor game. He's not performing at the moment, so we're going to have to take him off. I'm going to bring Krayev on. Need someone who's a bit more attacking minded, because we are not getting chances. The other player who's not playing well, unfortunately, is the player we're using to replace Feeney while he's out injured long term. I think it might have to be Simon's back, and then did I pick Simon's up, and then Doherty on as the central midfield support. And then Colwill. Oh, there's so much changing around we're having to do here for Bonucci. And then we just hope that we don't get any injuries. You know what? That is good enough. And then we'll just see how the second half goes. Probably actually have to go attacking as well. But let's see how this chance goes. And then we'll be able to kind of adjust where needed. So Simons to Stevens to Ramsey. Well, good passing. We're getting comfortable with the ball. And then just that. Again, if they score, every goal is through error by us. Good save by Phillips to stop us basically imploding on ourselves. I can't believe this. It's so frustrating. Bonucci gets the ball from a head away from the corner. He's running with it. That was a cynical foul. You hate to see it happen. Okay, corner to us. Doherty puts it in. Afolabi can't do anything with it. Mwamba just jogging back to get it. Where's the desire, lads? And a terrible pass by Mwamba. And now, again, they're on the attack from an error by us. But Ramsey, really good passion there to get the ball back. Afolabi plays out to Mwamba. Mwamba, poor. Ramsey to Bonucci. We're getting away with it. Mwamba puts it in. Yes. Kraev, please don't be offside. He was offside. My goodness, this is so frustrating. Again, poor pass by Mwamba. I mean, he had a good idea, but and poor positioning by Kraev, I suppose. We can't put all the blame on Mwamba. He's been a poor signing. I can see why he was cheap now. I'm not enjoying his football. Kraev has the ball now. Afolabi gets the ball, volley. Is that going to be offside as well, or are we? I can't believe this. Lads, what is happening right now? That was so close. Oh, for goodness sake, 2 goals disallowed. I don't think that one was offside completely, but we'll take it. And now Blackburn are on the attack again, and they're probably going to score, aren't they? Let's encourage. Anthony puts it wide, and we live to fight another day. So it's 3, we can't come back. If it's 2, we potentially... Doherty, superb. Mwamba, show us something else, come on. Nice through ball, and Afolabi just can't get the finish. We have not had the luck that we need in this game. Doherty with the corner, puts it in. No one gets there. And then Kraev, what are you doing? He just let someone else get there ahead of him. Just disgraceful play by the lads. Really not happy. Okay, Simons. Mwamba to Ramsey. Ramsey plays it all the way back to keeper. Terrace to Doherty. To Ramsey again. Loses it. What's going on with Ramsey? He's having a really good first half. And what was that by Phillips? 3-0. We're out. Absolutely shocking by the lads. I can't believe how poorly we're playing. Long ball forward. We get the ball back. Afolabi has the ball. Plays it back to Kraev. Kraev off the crossbar. I mean, yes, we're playing poorly. But I also think that we aren't playing as badly as this game suggests. We are just not having the luck that we need. Buchanan to Kraev. Buchanan through to Kraev again. Like... What is that? Well played by Simons to get the ball. Ramsey. Bonucci. Doherty. Over to Mwamba, but Mwamba's just not doing it today. I mean, he's a 6.8, but I'm not seeing it. 3-0, and that's full time. And honestly, what happened? I cannot see. Like, I am far from pleased now. I'm going to thrash my arms. I was going to throw a bottle, but thought best not to. That was a terrible result for us. And yes, things didn't go our way, but also we gifted them with so many opportunities. We could have been down by much more than 3 in this game. We dropped down to 13, 42 points. We are well off relegation, which is where we were when I first took this job. So we're definitely on course. It's just... If we would have won that, we potentially could have been challenging for even playoffs at this point, but we're not this season. We're going mid-table this season. A really frustrating way to finish this video because we played so well against West Ham, but losing that centre-back, Feeney, has really put a problem for us because we're not going to get him back. until the last game, basically. He's out for 3 months, I think, isn't he? How long is he out for? 3 to 4 months. We're not going to get him back this season, which means we have to try and play the rest of this season with our star centre back gone. Potentially, I'm going to have to look at loaning if we can in this. If it's not in the transfer window, I might have to loan a replacement and see if we can get a good centre back on loan. But we will see what happens then for the next video, because we'll be playing Liverpool and Huddersfield, and by then we should have hopefully sorted a replacement, or we've figured out what we're going to do. Potentially one of the young'uns that we brought in can sit on the bench and come on, maybe play on some of the games where it's a little bit of an easier game. Problem is, there are no easy games in this league, really. I think for all of these games, everyone is like higher position in the league. We don't play anyone lower down in the league for a while, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the names of teams like QPR, Preston, Ipswich. We're playing all of those in this month, aren't we? Preston, Ipswich, QPR. So all of those are literally around us. So if we start losing these ones, we move down the table again. So we need to make sure we kick this sort of performance out and we start playing better. So yeah, come back next time to see a big game against Liverpool and the Huddersfield game, which is actually going to be on TV as well. So we'll be back and hopefully better than we were in that last game. We're still in the FA Cup, which is a positive, and we're still mid-table, which is way above what we're expected in the club visions. They are disappointed in our inability to play direct football and set pieces, but when we get to the end of the season, I'm going to get rid of that stuff, because I hate trying to play direct football, and set pieces, I hate trying to get them. I don't know how to do it, so we're going to just get rid of them when we can at the end of the season. Everything else we're doing amazing on, and we've got an A+, so we should be doing fine. We're not going to get fired anytime soon, hopefully. So yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.